All right, so in this video, we're gonna go over some more psychology parts, right? So I keep on saying how important psychology is and mindset, and I'm not just saying it. No, like I remember when I was first starting out, like being how am I gonna make money? Because I don't want to work construction anymore, and I don't want to be worried about money all the time. Don't get me wrong, I still am for the most part, but when I was searching people out, I remember I was like, man, all they're talking about is like work on yourself, blah, blah, blah. Like, tell me how to do it. Like, what's the 1, 2, 3 step process? But the thing is, the 1, 2, 3 step process is everything else we're going through in this training. But if you can't get this down, you're not going to be able to hold on to it. And I swear, I'm still working on this stuff myself. Nobody, especially when it comes to the psychology part of trading, nobody ever gets it down 100%. The thing is, we start to have smaller and smaller and smaller losses over time and less consistently, and our wins become bigger and bigger and more consistent over time. And that's all due to psychology, right? And so in this screen share, I'm going to go over quite a few topics that are important to me and make sense to me, and stuff that I've tried to take out of my own psychology when it comes to trading. Some of those is big shotism. So that means like, having a huge day, right? You see me post my profits and stuff on Instagram or whatever, but I'm not just like going on and on about it. I want to show people that it's possible, and also, introduce people to my managed accounts and that kind of thing. And the fact that I do this for real, because there's so many people that act like they do, but not anybody showing like any real profits over and over and over again. But what I'm not doing is showing huge profits and then just like going on and on about it, because also I do have some big losses too. But fortunately, that doesn't happen as much. And the thing is, I just try to put it all in perspective. Maybe a big win for me is say 5,000 in a day. That's huge, right? I mean, who doesn't want to make that? But a few years ago, 500 in a day was crazy. I was like, what, dude, this is insane. But for me, that 5,000 in a day where I'm at now, some guy on Wall Street, 500,000 in a day is maybe a solid day, because they're doing millions, billions of dollars. So it's all relative. And so thinking on that scale has really brought it into perspective to me of, hey, this is the profit we made. That's good. Let's stack it on to the next one tomorrow. Another psychology part is the long game. And I want you to write these down for sure. The long game. Think about the long game. How are you going to play it? What does it mean to you? What does that even mean, right? But I will go ahead and tell you that if you are just tripping about 1 day, 2 day, this is like, it's important to keep track of your days. But a lot of beginners come into my group, and especially when they're taking signals and they don't know how to trade and they expect to get rich overnight, they're going crazy about a loss in a day. And the thing is, trading is tons and tons and tons. Over a year, I place like a ridiculous amount of trades. I couldn't even put a number on it right now. But and that's what trading is. You want a bunch of trades over time. Maybe you're a swing trader, right? Maybe you have 5 trades in a year. I don't know. But if that's your approach, you're definitely thinking about the long game. You're not thinking of on just micromanaging your account, because if you do that, I promise you'll never last. So I want you to start thinking in weeks. I want you to start thinking in months. I want you to start thinking in quarters. And I want you to start thinking in years, especially if you want to make a career out of this. This is what I'm just talking about, my own experience. So when you start to think about that, when you do take a loss, you just take the loss and you move on. Write this down, one of the most important things you can do in trading is learning how to lose. Learn how to lose, move on. And this transfers over into life so well. It's just a great lesson all around. So just remember the long game. I talk about it a lot. meditation and yoga. I don't know what that looks like for you. It's a huge part in my life. It's been life-changing. I do it every day. And, you know, without it, I honestly don't know what my life would be like. And I mean that. It's very important to calm this thing down because we have so much external stuff happening every single day. But like I've said in previous videos, what's cool is the world we live in. There are just so many resources. So if you're new to meditation, right, I'm not talking about go to Nepal and go live in Tibet with some monks. I mean, if you want to do that, that would be awesome, in my opinion. I think that would be so cool, and I would love to do it too. But, you know, a great place to start is, you know, there's an awesome app called Headspace, and it's guided meditations, 5-minute, 10-minute. And if you can start incorporating a meditation in your day before you start trading, you're going to be a lot more centered, and you know, you're going to be able to see the market and your life a lot more objectively. Yoga as well. You know, the physical benefits of yoga are undeniable, and all this stuff, the meditation, the yoga, you just don't do it once. But if you do it every day, I'm going to give you a challenge here. Do it every day for 30 days and report the results to the group. So maybe it gets other people excited to do this kind of thing. Watch how your life just like starts to bloom and transform. And everything, it's just only going to improve your life. Let me put it that way. So yoga and meditation is a huge part of making your psychology more sound. Another one is avoiding the herd mentality. Okay, so this goes in every aspect of life, but whatever it is. Okay, avoiding the herd mentality. So whatever it is everybody else is doing is probably not the best thing to do. I'll just go ahead and say whatever everybody else is eating, probably not the best thing to eat. Whatever everybody else is watching, probably not the best thing to watch. As far as trading goes, what everybody else is trading, probably not the best thing to trade. That's how banks, that's how brokers, that's how market makers, that's how people get trapped. So you want to think outside the box. In trading and in life, don't follow the herd. Avoiding the herd mentality is one of the best things I've ever done. I've lost a lot of friendships doing it, but you know, I'm a lot better for it, for sure. So just start thinking like the herd mentality is a means to brainwash you. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, I could go on for hours about this, and it would probably be a huge rant, but it's super important to first identify when you're just kind of getting in this group think. Also yoga and meditation is going to help get you out of this, and then so you can start to see life as it actually is. Most people are controlled by their thoughts, their emotions, and those thoughts and emotions are controlled by what they watch, what they eat, what they're not doing. I was going to say what they're doing, but most people aren't doing anything. And that's why most people are average. And I know if you made it this far in the training, you're really trying to get out of what average is like, because it's not a good place to be, for sure. So avoiding the herd mentality is huge. So next is dealing with depression. Look, I've dealt with this all my life, for sure. And you know what happens a lot of times too with trading is that you know, we have a couple bad days. Say you're a beginner, you blow an account, man, it's the worst feeling in the world. Trust me. I know it like makes my like spirits kind of die a little bit when I'm saying this. So, but it's a part of life, and all these other components that I'm trying to share with you, the self-belief, the keeping promises to yourself so you can build self-esteem, yoga, meditation, and this brings me into my next point. Get some exercise. It's the best way to get you out of depression and feeling bad. Like, it's easy to sit in front of the computer all day and try to trade and imagine yourself getting rich, and then it doesn't happen, and then you get super depressed and maybe go out and like drink or do drugs or whatever to like bring yourself, to make yourself feel better. Like, trust me, I've been there for sure. It's not like a good or bad thing, but it is hurting yourself and it's not making the situation any better. So one of the best things, or multiple things that I do, is exercise every day and do some sort of yoga and meditation. So maybe you're like, man, we're getting way off track with trading, but I wouldn't be sitting here doing a video about how to trade and be profitable if I didn't work on my psychology, if I didn't exercise every day, if I didn't do yoga, if I didn't seek out some sort of spirituality and meditation, I wouldn't be the person I am today that could handle this kind of thing. Like, because it's crazy, man. But the thing is, once you start to do this, you'll start to get some momentum in a positive direction. Like, our life runs on momentum one way or the other way, but we need to start building it in a positive direction. Maybe you have it for years and years and years. You've been building momentum in a negative direction. Trust me, I've been there. But the thing is, nothing is permanent, and it's painful at first pulling yourself out, but it's so worth it, man. For real. It's very worth it. It takes some time and it takes a lot of dedication, but exercise, yoga, meditation, listening to good audiobooks, motivational self-help kind of stuff is huge, right? A great app out there is Pep Talk. I use it all the time. It's free. They have a free service and they have a subscription service. It's so good. I subscribe to it and it's worth every penny I pay for it. I listen to music, sure, but mostly what I would rather do is feed my mind and get my mind hyped up for success and rewire my brain by doing this. And by doing this kind of thing, I'm less depressed, I have less anxiety, and I can see the markets in an objective way. And that's what I want you all to do. And it doesn't happen overnight. I've been doing this for years, for real. And it takes so much time. And you know, after a while, you're like, man, I still feel horrible. But the thing is, you got to just push through that. 100%. You have to push through it. Man, like, look at it this way. We've been controlled by society. We've been controlled by our culture. We've been controlled by maybe your family, been controlled by your friends. And breaking out of that so you can actually become free to create a life that you want is hard. It's hard to do and it's painful, like I've already said, but man, it is so worth it. And each day it gets easier and easier and easier. And after a while, you start to become somebody not only other people admire, but somebody that when you look in the mirror, you're like, man, you're doing a great job. And hey, you know what? I love you. Go crush it today. It took me a super long time to get to a place where I could legitimately say that to myself and feel it. But it's true, and I really want you all to work on getting there. Take notes on all this stuff. Watch this video multiple times. I really hope it helps you, because in order to be profitable trading, in order to be consistent, you need to work on your psychology. So next is how to take a loss, detachment from trades. You know, like I already said, one of the most important parts about trading is learning how to lose. Like now I have a bunch of different trades going on. I have a bunch of stuff happening, but the thing is, I take a loss and I move on and I focus on the next win. This is a great metaphor for life too. Losses are going to happen, but I focus on the next win. And a great part of this, to give you a practical application to do this in your real life, is start writing down your goals, right? So what I do, and I got this from one of my favorite business people. His name's Grant Cardone. I got to give him a shout out here. But I started writing my goals. There it is in this notebook, goals. And I started writing it down in the morning and at night. I try to do it every day, but you know, some days it doesn't happen. But when I do, I have much better days. So first thing in the morning, I write down my goals, and I write them down as if they've already happened. This is super important, because if I'm like, yeah, hey, I'm going to make $1 million, maybe the universe and the mind is like, there's no date on it. There's no, it's not like it's happened, and there's no belief behind it. But hey, if you're like, my net worth is $10 million, and it's a statement in the present, or I own a house in Hawaii on the Wailua River. Both of those are mine. That Wailua River is in Kauai. It's beautiful. It's actually where they shot Jurassic Park. It's awesome there. And that's one of my goals, right? To have a house on that river. And I write it down as if it's already happened. And this is magic. I'm telling you, it is like some sorcery, black magic. If you want to start to bend life and bend the universe and law of attraction, all this stuff, you know, it takes a lot of work. You can't just write it down and then go watch Netflix. But if you start writing these things down and then put the actual effort behind it, things are going to start happening in your life. And I was doing this, started doing this about 2.5 years ago. Pretty much everything has come true that I was writing down back then. My biggest problem was that I wasn't writing things down that were big enough. I wasn't making big enough goals down. So that's the last part about this. Do not limit yourself when it comes to writing these goals down. So here's a great example I like to tell people. Say you're at a restaurant, right, and you're getting lunch and you're with your boyfriend or girlfriend, and you're like, wait, where's this notebook on the table? And it says goals on it. Let's read, see what this person's talking about. And you see, like, I've changed energy in the United States and the world to make the planet a more safer environment. And then also another one is, I've landed on Mars and created a colony there and a civilization for humanity to live on Mars. You would be like, dude, this guy is smoking crack or something. And then in the background, you hear a toilet flush, and out walks Elon Musk. Hopefully you know who Elon Musk is. If you don't, stop this video now and look him up. But he walks out of the bathroom to the table and is like, thanks, sorry, I forgot my notebook. And then walked out. And the thing is, Elon Musk is already doing those things. He has a SpaceX program that's privatizing space travel and looking to put a colony on Mars. He's changed energy in the United States by creating Tesla and also solar panels that are used to make houses, which is going to really revolutionize things, I would say, probably years from now when this is shot. So what I'm saying is, don't limit yourself on goals. Like, hey, if you want to go to Mars, write it down. If you want to make $10 million, write down $100 million. It's not going to hurt, and it's going to get you thinking big enough to where that's actually possible for yourself. Like, and look, if you make it half, if you were writing $10 million and then you wrote $100 million and you only make half of this goal, you make $50 million, and instead of making half of the $10 million goal, that's only $5 million. So the idea behind this exercise is to get you to think on a bigger scale, and also put your trading goals down. You know, one of mine, and I still write it to this day, is a very simple one. I am a consistent and profitable trader. You know, when I first started writing that, I definitely wasn't consistent and profitable. That's for sure. But writing it down every single day started to plant the seed of belief in me that it was actually possible for myself. And that's exactly what I hope this does for you. So working on your psychology, getting a plan, and doing these things that I mentioned is huge. Just to go over them one more time, write this down. Big shotism, playing the long game, meditation and yoga, avoiding the herd mentality, how to deal with the depression, exercise, how to take a loss, detachment from the losses, writing down goals, and finally, there's always another trade. Don't get stuck on one trade. There's always another trade. There's always another setup. The market is infinite, and so are you. So I hope you found the psychology video helpful. Man, this is one of the most important topics in my life. I'm not talking about just trading. I'm talking about working on bettering myself, and I really hope you all can. I hope that's your goal, rather than getting a Rolex or rather than driving a Ferrari. Sure, those things are awesome, but you being the best version of yourself is exactly the way God or the universe, whatever, created you, and that's your purpose on earth, in my opinion. So start working on being a better you, and your trading will just happen. I promise you that. It doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen, because I know it from my own experience. So thanks for watching this video. It means a lot to me, and I'll see you on the next video.